Hi, I'm Cliffhanger, and this is the short-length film Raqqa. The remnants of humankind are fighting an unequal battle against alien invaders capable of enslaving humans.
They built these megastructures that spew methane, manufacturing their atmosphere.
The film begins in the not-too-distant future in the sandy expanse of Texas. In the light of burning flags, the remnants of humankind are being held captive by alien reptiloids. The aliens use prisoners as slaves, encouraging them with a universal space tool, the whip. They are herded into special kennels, where they are used as living incubators for the glory of the xenomorphs and are experimented on as laboratory mice. Since the beginning of the intervention, the Earth's cities have been abandoned. Time and nature swallow them up with the relentlessness of ocean waves licking the shore. The Eiffel Tower rusts without the greedy eyes of tourists. Where nature fails fast enough, alien technology brings pitting destruction. Aliens erect terramorphing black towers in place of destroyed homes, adopting the atmosphere for the planet's new masters. Climatic changes lead to floods and the destruction of forests. The composition of the air changes so much that people have difficulty breathing, and flora and fauna are slowly dying. In addition to direct confrontation, the reptiloids were trained to subjugate the minds of humans, controlling the cerebral and lymphatic systems, akin to a boa constrictor hypnotizing the Bondar logs, and to make people do what they are told. Survivors manage to invent a brain blocker that allows them to resist control, but there are not enough devices for everyone. The last centers of resistance huddle in underground bunkers, ready to fight back the invaders, led by Jasper, a woman who knows how to deal with alien creatures. Despite the defeatist tendencies, the resistance does what it is named for: it resists. The aliens use captured politicians to crack their skulls open, probe them in the wrong place, and use them as propaganda mouthpieces, making people surrender, as the reptiloids will help everyone. During one of these propaganda outings, a captive politician is led through the streets by an alien guard. A suicide murderer girl, wearing explosives, pretends to buy false promises and wants to surrender to blessed captivity. Yet the strangers, having figured out the deception, annihilate her from a safe distance, unaware that it's all part of the plan, a diversion. The real bomb is planted underfoot. The retaliatory strike doesn't take long. An alien air force attacks the rebel transport, nullifying all military successes. A wounded fighter prefers to put a bullet in his head to avoid being subjected to inhumane experiments. Yet suddenly, the situation changes with the appearance of another race of aliens, translucent angel-like beings in whom the exhausted remnants of a futile war see salvation. The story shifts to Nosh, a skilled pyromaniac and explosives technician who blew up the aliens on the landmine. He scavenges the junkyard for the parts he needs to assemble useful gadgets from scrap metal, homemade bombs, and mental blockers. Jasper buys the resulting items from him for his fighters, but Nosh is unable to meet all the demand on the market alone, so the helmets are woefully in short supply. In addition, the post-apocalyptic Hal Lemelson is building a certain secret device in his workshop, which he adamantly refuses to sell. Jasper offers him a decent price, but they have nothing to offer the pyromaniac. He doesn't even want to return to the past system, in which he was considered mentally deranged and socially dangerous scum. The Resistance, however, has something it needs: bait. He asks to bring in some throwout person, a guilty criminal, an old or a sick man, to use him as bait, like the suicide murderer girl on the street earlier. Calculating the chances of winning, the leader of the fighters thinks, who can be given up in exchange for the device, and will barter help win a nearly lost war. In the bunker, his attention shifts to Amir, a man picked up by the gorillas with numerous implants in his body. He escaped from the aliens who were experimenting on him. Despite the fact that the regular fighters are wary of Amir and hold him at gunpoint, considering him a brainwashed double agent, Jasper treats him as an equal. The woman says he can help them in the uneven fight. She removes his handcuffs, contrary to the fears of his colleagues in the difficult guerrilla business. Next comes the girl named Sarah to feed the former prisoner and also to ask a favor. She removes the hood from his head and sees that the mechanisms have been integrated into living flesh with the aid of alien technology, a moving black slurry of nanomaterial. In the next scene, the Resistance squad prepares for battle by practicing shooting assault rifles. Sarah explains to Amir that they are preparing to fight the aliens who did this to him. Asked by her subordinates, Jasper explains that after her daughter's death, Sarah is looking for ways to get back at the interveners, and has found one in Amir's modified face, who, according to her, having survived the aliens' experiments, possesses unusual abilities. Silently listening to Sarah's speech, Amir stares into the void in front of him. Inside his chipped head, however, chaotic and disjointed images form visions of the future. The inner Nostradamus shows the hero that the fighters, along with Jasper, are on a combat mission. A confrontation with the enemy takes place on a dusty street of a deserted city. The gunmen open fire on multiple aerial targets, all of which seem not to notice them at all. However, one flying machine manages to be shot down. The alien falls nearby, and the observers relay its coordinates to the rest of the squad. The convoy of vehicles moves to the location. Jasper gives his last orders before catching the bait. Check the blockers and don't make eye contact with the Reptiloid. The wounded alien gets out of the plane and runs away, sensing with his space ass that the embittered locals are not bringing him a cake. The soldiers move after the alien, taking warning shots at the chitinous carcass. The alien, enhanced with nanite, uses a forbidden technique, telekinesis. He knocks the blocker from the head of one of the pursuers and hypnotizes him with his reptilian will. Obeying a mental command, the soldier raises his rifle and fires at his comrades, forcing them to return fire on him. Amir's vision overlaps with Sarah's words that millions die in monstrous experiments and few like him survive. The man's pupils slowly dissolve into the whites of his eyes as the coming reveals its secrets to him. Alien experiments, mountains of bones, burning bodies. The vision switches to the hunt for the pilot. He is hunted down, wounded, and according to ancient tradition, his head is cut off. Only one must remain. The soldier raises the intervener's head with his mouth open and his tongue hanging out as a symbol that resistance can kill the more technically equipped invader. It means there is a chance to win the war.